Bonjour, bonjour. Greetings to everyone from wherever you are. Greetings. Bonjour. I am Lady Marilyne Keto, and I am blessed, beyond blessed, to be back to you with another series of wisdom. Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Yes, and today we hear from amazing people who have a lot of good things to share with us. I believe some of them know them and others don't. They'll just come and present themselves. But before we do, go ahead, share the live. Share the live with somebody. Tell them we are on. All you guys for Ministries is on. So as we're sharing, I'll show you a little video of one of our songs that just got out, Uzali Musantu. Some of you have heard it, seen it, others don't. Well, I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance now to just hear something about it as you're sharing this video. Go ahead, tell somebody we on, tell somebody we are on. Olive Gospel Ministries is on. Go ahead, tell them.
Basantu lokola yo yonde kolo napoli Olobito zala basantu lokola yo yawe Epana yo lokuta ezalite bakuta peli sumute poto saka maloba na yo Epana yo lokuta ezalite bakuta peli sumute Ozali na yo mosantu bikela munyoso bayebi yango na likolo pe na nse You are the Halloween of God, a man of suffering. You alone are worthy to be praised. No one else. Pampaka tukumi bale na mile, bako paka mitole na bango, bako gumba mela yo. Oh, Ozali, Monsanto. Toyembi kembo na yo Elohime Seko na seko Toyembi kembo na mwana Seko na seko Baserafe na ba cherubin pa koyembela kayo Oto na moye Biso pe bayenge bene Toko sanjola yo Na maloba pe na mandanda na biso Oh, Ozali Monsanto Toyembi baso Kembo na yo Elohime Seko na seko Toyembi kembo na mwana Seko na seko Come on, everybody sing holy, precious Lamb of God. Only you are holy.
We're back, we're back, we're back, we're back again. We're back, we're back. I hope, in case you haven't heard this song, well, we're starting now. In case you haven't heard the song, well, now you've heard it. Go on YouTube, finish up the song, and share. Now it looks like you have, yes, you have shared. I was just playing the song to allow you to share the song. Okay, so I'll welcome my first guest. Drum roll. Boom. Bonjour, bonjour.
Hi,
Hi, how are you, sister?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Some people know you when others don't. So tell us, who are you? What's your name?
Oh, hi. I'm Rosie Mandela.
Hi.
Hi. I'm 18, and we just came back from, well, I and other people have just came back from the DRC, and I'm very excited to share this experience with everyone.
Interesting. Yes, a lot of people are waiting to hear from you, and just to know what exactly was it like. Did you see some lions or not? Don't answer it. Don't
No,
answer it.
no wild animals, no huts, none of that. It was beautiful. I enjoyed every second of it.
Really? Wow. Okay, let me just hear from another person just to confirm what you're telling me. Mbote, mbote, Mama Serena.
Hello, hello, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Do you at least remember what to answer when someone tells you mbote or you forgot it already?
Bote, Batunyoso, those
Oh,
are yeah,
oh, okay,
so
okay,
that's a little bit.
okay. All right. I thought you forgot it. I thought when you took that plane back, a lot of that lingala just fell on that water.
Nah.
All right. Okay, let's hear from our last guest. You might want to unmute yourself. All right, my last guest, unmute.
My mom's watching in the
All
back.
right. Mbote, Mama Elsie. Oh, I guess she's having a little technical
Oh
issues.
no. Bote, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Mbote,
Hello.
Boni.
Hello.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you?
Okay, we're good. Okay. Hello, Bote.
Bote,
Good.
Sango
I'm
Boni.
good. I'm here.
Okay,
Sang
how was your
malamu, Maxi.
okay, Sango Malamu? Okay. You looks like you just came from back home as well, huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just come from back home.
okay. Tell us a little bit
And
about
yeah,
yourself. Did
it's
you
beautiful.
tell us a little bit about yourself? Were you born there or born here? Just some people know you and others just don't. They just want to.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm Elsie Mandela. I just came back from Congo. I'm first generation born and raised in America, but luckily I have amazing grandparents who taught me the language so that I can grow up learning the language, Lingala, and a little bit of French. I can't really claim it, but yes, growing up and learning Lingala for sure. And that's who I am. That is me.
Okay, all right. Mama Serena, were you born here or back home?
I was born here. I was born and raised here. Southern California. Girl, you're looking at her here.
Okay, all right. How about you, Mama Rosie? Were you born here or back home?
I was also born in America, born and
Okay,
raised. And this is our first, well, my first time, well, all of our first times going and finally seeing Congo.
Hmm.
interesting. So, what led you to go over there? I mean, you were born here, you used to so many, the life here. What guides you? What was the motivation to just wake up one morning and go like, okay, I'll go back home?
Well, it wasn't really a wake up and we're gonna go back home. It was, well, for me personally, I've always wanted to go since I was a senior. I had a lot of African friends from different countries who would have family trips to their country, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, due to the politics and stuff going back home, it was kind of hard for us. But this was the perfect opportunity. I mean, the price is right. Everything is going back together, or going back to, together in the country. So we just took the opportunity and flew. So yeah.
Interesting. How about you, Sister Rosie? What was the motivation? Were you like, okay, I'll just go along, or you were like, uh, I don't know. Did you feel
Well,
like,
for me, mine was a little different. They already had plans to going back. They had already had the trip set, finalized, everything ready to go.
okay,
I decided to go like 5 days before the trip, and
why?
that's just how that went. It
Okay.
was it was a chaotic couple of days since I was
Yes,
traveling right before the trip,
yes,
and I came back that night or that morning that we were supposed to leave for the trip. So
yes,
I
yes.
had a lot. There was a lot to get done in that time, and we got it done, fortunately. So, but like my reason as to going, I don't know. Like we're Congolese. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have to go see, where our parents grew up. Like that's a place that we also need to be able to call home. So
Yes, yes. That's very noble of you. Tuka, I'm really impressed that you were born here and you just decided to pack and go over there. Meanwhile, there's a lot of people pray and fast to get a visa to come here.
yeah,
Isn't it something? That's why when I heard this, I was just like, I can't skip this chance to ask you. You were born and raised here. What exactly, what was your motivation to go back? Sister Elsie, what about you? What was your motivation?
My motivation, it was really personally like it was something that I was talking to my dad about. Dad would like constantly, we would talk with dad. It was like around 3 months after he left, and he was just telling me like how much he loved being back home, and the opportunities that he had there that he has now compared to back then, and how things changed, and now is a good time to go and stuff. And obviously, I'm a daddy's girl, so like whatever my dad says, I'm gonna listen to it and just go with it. So I was like,
Yeah,
okay, and Serena already wanted to go, and she's like my travel partner, and I do like international traveling. So it was a
yes.
very easy decision for me to just be like, hey, let's. I want to go to Cologne. She's in her mind. She already had that set, so it was like, okay, let's do it. So
Let's do.
that was me.
I
I
really
was
appreciate.
really, yeah, it's very worth
Yes,
it.
I think the wisdom that I got from what you just said is, like Serena also said, other tribes, other cultures like Nigerians, their kids always go back home. Bazonga anamboka.
Hmm.
But us, we pray to be here and stay here and just get, the culture here. And anyways, tell us, how was the whole booking process? You've traveled other places like to Europe. I see Serena going like, oh, okay, don't get started on that. So you travel to Europe, you travel to other places, even locally in America. How was it now to go back home? The whole booking, the packing.
Well, disclaimer, when we bought our tickets, mind you, we were planning to go or trying to go. Our whole mind was set up in January. So we were like, okay, we're going. So we had the end of January, beginning of February, and March to prepare. Now, when we bought our tickets, it was perfect to buy our tickets around March simply because of two reasons. Number one, around March is the perfect time and it's the season for you to buy your tickets for international travels.
Okay.
And also, due to the pandemic, there was a lot of empty seats. So,
Mm. Quite
mind you,
a first class experience, huh?
it was, we didn't even have first class, but we were sitting like we were in first class, basically.
Okay.
There were one in our rows or anything. So
Eh.
the booking was easy. Um, it was really cheap, the cheapest it'll ever be. And what was kind of stressful was that last week before we were going was so many different requirements.
Okay, like what? Okay, Sister Rosie, like what?
Yeah.
I see you nodding. You're like, yeah, yeah. Don't
I
get me started on this.
really stressful for me because I said I booked it
Yeah.
5 days before leaving. So you had to get a shot, you had to get a COVID test 72 hours prior to leaving or within that 72-hour benchmark. You also had to get a visa, and we had to send the passport to Washington DC and wait for the lady to stamp the visa on there and send it back. I mean, we had to prepare the stuff that other people wanted us to bring for them. We had to prepare the stuff that we needed to bring. Like it was a lot to get done. Luckily, I had the help of my sister, or my sisters and my mom. Like they helped me and all that stuff. My dad helped and stuff. But if someone were to do this alone, like
Yeah.
this trip takes time, and no one told us this. Like
No.
they didn't even think we were gonna go. No one told us any of this stuff until it was too late.
Gosh.
They're just like, oh, kutanango.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you bought the ticket, and then it's like, oh, but you need this, that.
Right.
It's not like going to Paris or Belgium where you just buy your ticket, you buy your clothes and stuff, and you go. It's requirements, requirements, requirements. So,
Okay. What about the packing?
I mean, it was
Packing
Your
stressful.
expressions, you're like,
part.
I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I don't know. Elsie, I know how your experience was. You want to touch on that? I don't know about the
Like
pack.
for me, my mother was like so like on me about packing light clothes, like really light clothes. And so I was packing like my version of like really light clothes and stuff. And she's like, no, like why not that Keto? It's too hot. It's too hot. Like we had to go shopping. So she wanted to buy me some more like the lighter stuff, like thin material type because of the like humidity in Congo is very, very hot, like 90 degrees and up at night. So packing definitely was hard, especially with my mom. She wants to see everything we're bringing. And we every time we travel, I always have a family member that's like, please bring this to this person here and bring this to that person. And so, and I only have a 50 weight minimum, so I can't fit my clothes and people stuff. It's
Yeah.
very stressful. Very.
So people, I think the stress is from people, asking you to bring some stuff
Mm.
to other family members, huh?
Uh,
I mean, that's the joy of being African. That's how we do it. That's how we function. So did you feel like,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
we're their own personal mail service.
did you feel like you packed enough for the place when you went there? Did you feel like you packed enough, or yeah, you didn't do a good job?
Honestly, yeah,
It's fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
we did pretty well. I mean, the weather, my dad was saying that it had, when we got there, it was good. He said before we were there was worse and he was worried for us, but when we were there, the weather was pretty fine, to be honest. I mean, we've been through heat before, it wasn't nothing new. And so I think we were
Okay.
well prepared in terms of what I remember, like our outfit choices. We were well prepared. I think they were pretty well prepared.
Okay. Okay. So you Obanga Kite. Oh, you didn't feel like, okay, I miss my mom, I miss my dad. You just travel all by yourself without no fear, no nothing.
From my experience, I felt like I was gonna homesick because I don't know, like it's a whole different, like you're not just in Paris or Belgium where it's like, okay, if you don't feel like eating the food, you have McDonald's right there. It's a whole different, it just really felt like, okay, you're really far away and you're really in a whole different continent, in a whole different country. So I was kind of nervous, but I mean, during the trip, it just felt comfortable. It felt smooth. people are kind of wild, once you get out that airport.
Okay.
But that,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, what do you mean by wild?
Okay.
Like warm, like all over you? What? How different was it for you? Like people wise?
Who?
Yeah, you,
Me?
Rosie. Hmm.
Oh, I would say, okay. Well, from my experience, I think that because of the airport, like in the beginning, I wanted to go home immediately.
Why?
Like, because it was just a lot of people, and I understand their intent is to to help you so that you can give them money. Like that's all they want. They just want money, and they'll just leave you alone. But like they were just like so forceful and aggressive. Like let me hunt your bag. Give me your bag. Let me hold your bag. Blah 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 blah. And it's like we were not prepared for that. No one warned us about that. No one was telling us like, oh yeah, like these people, they just want to help you so that you could give them a little money and they can go on about
It
their day. But there's just
just,
like 50 people yelling at you like, let me hold your bag, let me hold your bag, and following you out of the airport. It's just like crazy. So as soon as that was happening, I wanted to go home immediately. Like my dad was like so calm. He was just like, "Oh, yeah, don't worry about it." But I was like, "No, I feel like I should be worried. I feel like I should be a little worried because these people are
Okay.
so like aggressive and so wild. They just,
yeah.
it's like too chaotic. It was way too chaotic, and we just landed off a 22-hour flight. That was the last thing I needed, and it was just too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about you, Elsie? What was your first impression when you landed? I don't know. I think she can't
My
hear
first
me.
impression, it was hot when we landed.
Okay.
No, no, I heard it was very hot when we landed. It was moist. I think it had just finished raining. And so it was hot, it was moist, and we had landed outside. So you had to walk outside inside the airport. You had to do the NRB COVID test again. And I'm tired of doing COVID tests. We had already took two before we came, and then we had to take one when we got there. That was irritating for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't have the homesick vibes, I guess, because I was with my dad most of the times, and if I'm around like family, it don't really feel bad. Like I didn't really feel. I miss my mom and my brother and my sister. I missed you too, but like I didn't really feel too homesick when I travel in general. I travel to immerse in a new culture. I travel to understand a new place. So I try to get comfortable where I am so that I can enjoy it better. And that's what I felt like in Congo, like being there, uh, seeing it for the first time. I just wanted to get comfortable and enjoy it because I'm like, this is where I'm from. This is where, I'm supposed to be. This is where majority of who I am comes from. So honestly, my first impression, it didn't give me too bad vibes. It was true the airport was a little crazy. That's new, but then again, I'm in a new continent. Not everything's gonna be the same, and you gotta expect the unexpected. But
Okay.
it wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Okay. So, how about language wise? We have a question from one of our viewers. Papa Vernon is asking, how did you say it in Lingala, please? How did you deal with all the cares, like all the things going on? All the people coming after you at the airport. Rosa, see you laughing. Why? You're like, oh my God, that was another situation. How did you do? What did you tell them?
Oh, I didn't say anything. I mean,
With
dad was
the
there.
Lingala,
So the thing is, like, I'm very happy that like we all had a general understanding of Lingala and French, or else we would have been like 10 times more irritated, more confused, because it wasn't like we didn't know what they were saying. We were just like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
So my dad was there. He was very helpful at that moment, and then like throughout the trip we were basically able to hold our own, especially speaking Lingala, because we all again have a firm grasp on the language. So we were just speaking Lingala throughout because no one spoke English. I'm gonna say this now. No one speaks English. No one spoke English. They
But
speak Lingala and
part,
French.
the
Mhm.
hardest part is like in general for me, right? When we're going to the mall and we're doing all this stuff,
Yeah, nobody.
I was speaking Lingala so that they won't understand you.
Yes.
Like,
Can't do that here. So it's kind of hard because it's like, and then you'll be surprised some people speak English, so you just can't even, you know,
Blending, huh?
yeah,
yeah.
not a safe language in anywhere, anywhere.
Okay. So how did you? Okay, when did you
Definitely,
have to
yeah.
use the language? Let's say if you had to buy water, what did you use to say? Or if you had to, let's say, I don't know, you want to buy something and you feel like, oh, you
Honestly,
want a surprise, a bargain.
I know that people, when it comes,
Yes, we can hear you. Go
I
ahead.
noticed that people use French first when it comes to that. They use, I say, I noticed that people use French first when it comes to that. So,
Yeah.
like, their natural reaction, like restaurant waiters or like, maybe on the streets it's Lingala, but if you're talking commercial places like residential or like places like hotels and restaurants and businesses, it was French that you would have to use normally, and then maybe Lingala. Like, of course, they're gonna understand Lingala, but their first way of speaking to you is gonna be in French, and
Okay.
so that always tripped me out. I'm like, my French is not perfect. Linga, like, instead of delo, it's like, no, I need my. Not
Yeah,
delo, I
you're just
need my.
like, oh,
So,
Lingala. And then they'll just be so happy.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to speak this stupid French anymore. So they're just like relieved. And I'm like, okay, good. Let's communicate like this. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess this is something that can help parents and new parents. Both times sabaya lingala. Both
Yeah,
Yeah.
times.
but you'd notice that younger people are more comfortable speaking French because they're in school. That's what they're learning. That's what they're telling them to speak. And
Okay.
Lingala is like more of a popular language amongst older people or like yeah, like it's not that they don't speak Lingala, it's just that they want to speak French because that's just their comfort language. Like it's like, okay, well, we speak French at school. I speak French to my friends. I can speak French to my cousins in France, in Belgium, or whatever it is. So I'm just gonna speak French. But it's like, no, speak Lingala, please. Like, we want to talk to you. Lingala just seems more like a comfort, like,
Mm-hmm.
social language. And it's
Yeah.
like, whenever we hear Lingala, especially in like America, you hear Lingala, you assume like, oh, I know that person because you're Congolese. Like,
Yeah.
I know someone who knows you, or I know you. But like in Congo, it's like they all speak it, and it's like,
Oh,
whoa, do I
like
Yeah.
know you?
travel,
Like
huh?
when someone speaks to me in Ghana, I'm like, do I know you, or are you just speaking to me in Ghana because we're in Congo?
Mhm.
How did people react to your lingala? Let's say when you were trying to buy.
Oh my God. They knew we weren't from there.
You
Okay. So
you
before we even want to buy anything, they
okay?
look. A mask is supposed to be like $1, right? But we're just walking up there before we even open our mouth. They're talking about $8.
Okay.
And then when we speak Lingala, they still know that we're not from there.
That's
So
worse, huh?
yeah,
But we're not gonna pay $8. Like,
yeah.
I see, I see. Well, today's Buenya, one of the things, if someone is wondering, what exactly are they talking about? They need to teach your children the language,
Hmm.
Lingala. See, but in the now, see, back home, na Congo, I don't know, wherever you're from, just send your children back home. It's a new breath, it's different, it helps out to have that sense of belonging. Just like they said, it gives a sense of belonging. So,
Hmm.
now about the potentials. You were there for a couple of weeks. What exactly did you see that, okay, there's so many potentials here? This could have been different, or, you've been here for some time. Going back there, what do you think could be different?
There's a lot of things that are different. The roads. Okay, the roads is like Rosie says, you're getting
Mandela.
life because
Like
it
she said, can you repeat that?
she said you're gambling with your life if you're
Gambling with
going
life.
streets because there's no structure, and on top of that, um, the roads are a
Yeah,
pothole.
I was Rosie's catchphrase.
So yeah, it's like really, really, it's a danger driving there, but there's a lot of opportunities into fixing those roads, fixing those streets. There's traffic lights or whatnot, but I mean we could be green and the other people have to be red and they're still going. So it
Okay.
it's interesting. It's interesting. But there's a lot of different things that are expanding and growing out there. Felt like okay, we're at home. Like for example, there's a lot of new apartment complexes there that you would think, oh my gosh, you're in downtown LA. You know what I mean? Like it's beautiful apartment complexes. On top of that, once you live in Congo, if you do have the money, you build a house and that's it. There's no mortgage. Okay.
Don't want
We visited a wonderful home. It was beautiful. I mean, again, you think that you're in Burbank with these houses, okay? It's just
to.
pretty. There's no mortgage. Um, the cars there, okay? There's a whole bunch of different cars, and each car there has no car payment. It's paid in full. So that's a wonderful experience.
Experience, huh? What about you, Rosie? What did you mean by people are gambling with life? What did you mean by that?
I was on the phone with my mom. She was asking me, mom, like, how is it? And honestly, it's just too chaotic. There's no laws. And if there are laws, they're not followed, they're not enforced, no one cares. And it's just cars, taxis, motorcycles, vans, buses, and they're all driving the exact same way. And it's like everyone's missing each other by half a second or a little millimeter, and it's dangerous. I mean, like this is just normal to them. Like people use like they honk more than they use their mirrors so that other people can see them or whatever it is. Like it just doesn't make sense because I'm coming from driving here. I'm a driver in America, so we have traffic laws that I had to abide by just to get a license. Over there, you don't even know if they have their licenses. It doesn't even matter at that point because the police don't enforce anything.
Okay.
There's It's just
And
if
it's
you have a car, you can be on the
all
road, and that's just a no go to me.
Mhm.
I see. What about you, Sister Elsie?
Yeah,
Same thing.
definitely that.
I guess the potentials you saw was to create better roads.
One thing
But
that
yeah,
no, not even just that. There's certain and maybe like some bus stops for
bus stops.
the citizens because there's just a lot of them just crowding on the road and there's not like a proper space for them to be without them so close to the
Okay.
cars. I thought that they needed something like that or just like an area where they're not so close to cars because having them walk between cars to me was just ridiculous. Like, why is this allowed? Literally dangerous. Like Rose said, it's another gambling with your life situation. Like, why would you want to walk between moving cars and motorcycles and buses? And that's just way too much going on. And is it worth it? Like, are you that pressed to get somewhere where you have to be dodging cars to get to your destination? So maybe like a bus stop, maybe more instruction, like equipment for construction workers. I can tell that these like they can build literally anything and everything that I've seen is like handmade. The bricks were handmade and they're building stuff and I'm like they just have the proper equipment, had the proper maybe like shoes. I see them building flip flops and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they could do that. So maybe if they had proper equipment, I'm sure these people could build twice as fast and twice as strong with the right supplies.
Okay. So potentials, the road can be, improved, and then bus stops, and then, with the right, supplies, they can We can have bus stops and then enforce rules because I know our country is Democratic Republic of Congo. We have rules, so
Mhm.
maybe you reinforce those rules as well, just like you mentioned,
Yeah,
so that the flow of the road
yes.
can be done better. Okay, I see. What about I know you like to eat, you like restaurant, you like to go out. What did you notice about restaurant?
I think food is one of the best parts of Congo in general.
Okay.
Um, that's like
Mm,
a part of the culture, you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to places like Bandal and stuff, that's the home of the best poulet de mayo,
definitely.
the best guanga, the best makemba, all that stuff. So
You like kwanga?
yes, mind you,
From
I
Congo.
had
Some
guanga.
people don't know what's kwanga actually. Do you know what's kwanga?
Guanga, I believe, is
Cassava.
cassava, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's cassava paste, cassava.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, the first time I had guanga was in Belgium, and that was like, oh my gosh, heaven. So they're like, no, if you go to Congo, it's gonna be much better. I didn't know in 2 years I was gonna end up in Congo, so it was the perfect experience to have it there, and it was great. Great.
Okay. How about you, Rosie? What did you notice about the food, the restaurant? Are they owned by locals or what did you notice?
Most restaurants, most high-end restaurants are owned by, I'm not gonna say foreigners because those people are born and raised there, but they're owned by non-Congolese, like Lebanese or Chinese or whatever it is. Like Congolese people like to like work for other people for some reason, and that's just how, like, that's how the like high class or high end scene looks like. It's just a bunch of like non-Congolese people at the top,
Non-Congolese people.
and then yeah, Congolese people working in the different layers. So they like, we went to this one restaurant. It was owned by a very nice Lebanese man, and he knew the language. I mean, I'm pretty sure he came to Congo for a reason. He knew
Mm-hmm.
the language. He was able to speak Lingala, French, whatever it was, and
Mm-hmm.
and now he has a beautiful restaurant in Kinshasa, in Gombe, and it's beautiful. We went there multiple times. It's a nice restaurant, but it's disheartening to see that even in their own country, like, it's like they're getting bullied out of the business. You feel me? Like, it's your country and you still can't like take full grasp and control over like the big things happening. So yeah, like the big businesses at the top is always going, like, most of the time, like
For
7, 8 out of 10 of the time, it's going to be some other person, Indian, Chinese, Lebanese, like, it's that they're running it, and then Congolese people just work for those people. And I noticed that a lot. As far as food went, I loved the food. I didn't expect to like the food, but I loved it. I enjoyed it a lot, especially even without the restaurants, just street food, or like, um there was this one thing Uncle Ken had brought us. Well, ngolu, was it ngolu?
okay. Pork.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Okay, yeah. He brought that too. But that was so good.
Gulu,
I think that
yeah.
was my favorite one. That
And
and
they had
um
Ebola as well.
It was
liboke. Those
good.
were my favorites. So the
Okay,
food,
I see. How about you, Elsie? What was your favorite food over there? And how did you feel about the restaurant? Yeah, I
For
guess.
me,
Yeah.
I love Congolese food. It's always been my favorite growing up. So I was not shocked about it being good. One thing that I don't eat is fish, and I remember Uncle Ken, not just Uncle Ken, but so many of my uncles or family members shocked that I don't like fish, and it's just something like when I grew up, I couldn't eat like makayabu and stuff like that. I couldn't do it. So when we went to Maluku, we
Okay, so
had
you went to Mal.
maboke,
Okay.
and it was delicious. I was so surprised that I liked the fish. I was like, wow.
I see, huh? Okay.
Yeah, yes, we did. And it was, And they were like, "Oh, try the fish," because I didn't. I was waiting for the meat. I didn't want to eat fish. I was sitting there starving, waiting for the meat. And they're like, "Oh no, try the fish. It's good." And I ate it with Wanga, and I was like, "Wow, oil,
Music, heaven.
goop, goop, and
Good.
that goop. It
Ooh,
was delicious.
Mama was earlier, Oyoki Lingala.
Loved it."
Marubi Kishasa Gu. No, Aulia Gu. So I don't know. You guys being born here, you must have been used to certain taste of food. Did you crave for, I don't know, pizza, McDonald's, any of that? Did
I
you?
was craving, some chicken tenders or something, but I mean,
Serena did.
But again, the Kwanga made it,
You know what?
it covers it
There,
all.
I was always trying to eat samosa and makimba. Like that was my go-to late night snack.
Okay,
Can you
I see.
imagine that we only ate kwanga out there and not fufu? We hadn't touched fufu at all the entire
Okay.
time we were there, but only kwanga. And that shook that. I was thinking about it when we came back. It was very shocking how we only ate kwanga, not fufu. And we're in
yeah.
Yeah.
Congo. Like that made no sense.
Yeah, to all the parents out there, please teach your children to love Congolese or African food. It will help them a lot. But to something that Rosie mentioned, you said, most of those, restaurant and
Yes.
most of those places, they're owned
Yes.
by foreigners. How
Mhm.
did you feel about that? Do you feel like,
I I personally was kind of sad about it simply just because it was just like, where are all the Congolese people at? Like what is Congolese owned? I know that there were some restaurants and some businesses um, that were Congolese owned, but other than that, it's just crazy. I know a Congolese girl who's a business owner at 23, and she did mention to me and Rosie and that Congolese people do not, they would rather buy from a Lebanese and Indian first before buying from their own. So that really stuck to us because we're just, wow, that's crazy. It's different with African Americans here. I mean, with everything going on, we are so quick. Even if we are not able to purchase our next neighbor's items, we are so quick to, repost, shout out to anybody who'd want to, go for that person's services or buy their item. So it was just kind of like shocking, like, wow, that's crazy. And it made me kind of hungry to want to start stuff of my own there. And you know,
okay.
expand it.
Like, we have a question here. My mama is asking, did you see any opportunity for investment?
Um,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, Sister Rosie, go on.
there were many. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that Congo is where the money
Many.
like
Many.
Many.
where the money is. Like there's so many opportunities to invest and help the
Yes.
country in so many ways. And I feel like a lot of Congolese people talk about wanting to help the country, but like when push comes to shove, they don't know what to do. And it's like, but there's so much to do. Like even with the fast food stuff, they don't have fast food there. That is something to invest in. She's like
Yeah.
said construction or bus
Uh,
stuff. Like that's something to invest in, you know? And I feel like Congolese people like in Congo, their idea is just I need money now,
Mm,
so I'm gonna get it how I need to get it. And that's
exactly.
by working for somebody else because they're gonna give me money the next day.
Hmm.
mm,
Instead of I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna work my way up, and then, once the big bucks is at the top, I'm gonna try to work my way to the top. That's not what they're thinking. Because it's not like, oh, I need an invention, I need to be smart, I need to be this. It's like, no, I need to make money and that's it. That's all. So
mhm,
I feel like once people start looking at the big picture and
mhm.
as a whole, like there are so many ways that you can improve the economy
Okay.
and that a lot of people just aren't thinking of. And I think we see it because we're foreigners. We're coming from an American mindset, and we're looking at our country like, I mean, America has this, that, and the third, and we take half of this stuff for granted. And Congo doesn't have that, and we could be making bank over there doing that instead of over here working school to be another teacher, another lawyer, another doctor that America has millions of. So we could be sending this schooling, taking it back over there, rearranging things, and actually making a difference in an entire country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And readjust visions. All right. How about you, Sister Elsie? What are the potentials, investment opportunities that you saw over there? Yes. Yeah. Elsie.
In terms of investment, personally, me, I wanted to invest in construction because that was something that I saw needed a lot of work. I really wanted to do construction. And it's funny because the Lebanese, I remember the owner of one of these restaurants that we went to, like, they
Mm-hmm.
would tell us that Congo is where the money is. And not really Congolese people telling us, but other,
So
like
you mean
Lebanese
the
people
Lebanese? The Lebanese were the
are
one
telling
telling
us
you
this, that
money
they
is over
find
there.
investment in Congo. And, it's, yeah, it wasn't something I was getting from Congolese people. I mean, besides my dad and my uncles, outside of that, I didn't know anyone else who had that mindset of build your own rather than work for someone else. And so it shocked me that they don't have that mindset that other people do, and they're able to profit off our country. And so it made me think like I mean, I opportunity in terms of trying to make the country more modernized, trying to stabilize it. And I really looked into construction as a big thing because it needs to be constructed. There's a lot of things that would run smoothly if they were properly put together and properly in place, like the roads, for example. If they had the correct barriers, then we wouldn't have people driving the opposite direction in the same lane as you. Or if there were like bus stops, then we wouldn't have, people crowding around the road, ducking and weaving from not trying to get hit. There's certain things that just need the right modifications in order for the country to run a bit smoothly. And that's where I saw my investments going is in terms of construction and
Also,
Mm-hmm.
constructing the country
yes,
again.
I would suggest also um, those that are at Congolese American or even Congolese that moved to the U.S. and got settled down here. I would really suggest they go back and have that trip.
Can you speak louder? You're breaking off. Yeah.
I was saying that I would suggest the Congolese community that came from Congo and came here, or even Congolese Americans, to actually take another trip. Since you've lived in the US, you've seen what was available, you've seen so many different ideas. I think it's a perfect time to go back and see what you can do for the country, or, generational wealth, including. So,
I'm
yeah.
very moved. I'm very
Yeah,
moved
definitely.
by what you mentioned, by what Elsie and Rosie, what you mentioned about Tongbapaya, outsiders, Lebanese are the ones who were telling you that the money is in your country, not even the locals.
Yeah, it was sad, but
I
Yes,
think if
that's
we told someone like we were there for vacation, they're like, why? Like, they're like, why? Why would you vacation here of all places? Like, you're like, what?
they
Yeah.
were like, "Why are you vacation here?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "The only time that somebody would be in Congo to come is for business. If it's not business, then they're gone, or they're staying at their house. They're not for vacation." So it was just very interesting. I think it was a calling that's like, okay, you're here for vacation, but we left with a whole bunch of other ideas and a whole bunch of opportunities. So
Mm,
yeah.
mm, and you mentioned something very important, Serena. You said you actually, I think it's, I don't know, either one of you said something about I think it's Rosie. You said something about instead of just studying again the same things that are over here, such as teachers, they're forming teachers and all that. You might want to get whatever baggage you get here and go with it out there, back home to build something, to be part of the construction of the country. What kind of classes would you suggest to people who move from back home here to study some things here? What do you think they should be studying to be useful back home?
Um,
If nursing we do, because most people just, nursing is one of the to-go majors.
I think it's super helpful, that major, but I would say like it depends on what you want to do. Like, because I don't want to say this like everyone's meant to be a business owner, because it's not everyone's calling, you know. So I would say that if you are trying to be part of a big change in the economy, then I would suggest business management and economic classes, just
Mm-hmm.
for if you want to be a business owner or if you want to make a shift in the economy over there. But then again, a nursing degree here or like a doctor's degree here is respected and transferable worldwide. So you're a doctor wherever you go. It doesn't matter, you know? So I just feel like take advantage of what you want to study here and capitalize as much as you can on it. Even if you want to be a business owner and you don't want to, whatever, contribute in some way to the business aspect of the country, there are still other ways you can contribute with whatever it is you want to do, what's in your field, and what is in your line of vision for your future. And I'm just saying to capitalize on whatever your initial goal is, because it doesn't cap at just being an American nurse or being an American doctor. Like it can go further, way
Yeah,
further.
there's more. Okay, I see. Well, this is a question. I mean, from hearing you, well, my me's asking, any hope for DRC at all? Or it's like, mm,
Well, I hope because I heard a lot of comments and a lot of feedback from other people saying how certain countries used to be better than what we visited.
mhm,
And honestly, what I could say is I can't really just explain it. I would suggest just go to the country. Because like I could say a lot of things and give you a lot of imagination, but you need to see it for yourself. I
yes.
believe that a lot of the times Congo is seen on social media as a joke.
Mm-hmm,
It jokingly matters, and they're all negative. They're never positive, right?
mm-hmm,
We weren't only staying around in Gombe, right? We're
mm,
also um, Bandal, uh, um, all those other places. So we've seen a lot of um, areas that needed to be, cleaned a little bit, equipped, adjusted. But honestly, I honestly feel for them that they were just happy with how they were. Honestly, the
they were
best
kind. Mm,
or those certain cities where they were just so happy and so like proud of where they were.
mm-hmm.
They'll call you and tell you, "Hey, it's horrible," da, 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 because they think that we have the best at the end, but no, they have the better.
Mm. They were
Yeah,
com-
I would just say, probably a couple things just need to get adjusted, like the hospitals and stuff. Those are not going to save you at all. They're like,
the hospitals are not gonna save you.
no, I mean, if you're over there for high blood pressure and you need medication, they're probably going to give you medication for like a headache. Not, no, it's not restorative. So,
Okay, I
yeah.
see. Well, there's more potentials in the healthcare department over there. Any? Did you hear any emergencies? Any 911
Oh no,
cars? No.
if you're having a heart attack, you're screwed. Okay, you're screwed.
I
Unless
see.
you have a bunch of money and you have a personal doctor that will probably get there as fast as they can. But then again, with the roads, they're not going to get there as fast as they can. So
I,
yeah, there's no 911, there's no ambulance, none of that.
Okay, how about you, Rosie? Did you see any potentials? I mean, any hope for DRC, the way it's going?
Of course, I think there is hope because every country has its good and its bad. You know, like America, we're not perfect. No country is perfect. No country is completely harmonious. So I would say that there's definitely hope because we enjoyed our experience. All in all, like I
Hmm.
loved it. I loved every bit of it, even the bad, quote unquote bad. I mean,
Mhm.
I really wasn't. I never felt uncomfortable or afraid after I started realizing, like, okay, this is how people live. This is their norm, and you just adjust. You know, and I think there is hope because that, like she said, people are happy. Like they just want to make money. DRC is full of people who want to make money and they want to make it quick. They need it quick. And
That's
um they
odd.
just I feel like there's just not enough direction for them on how to, because you see that the go-to with a lot of kids is like, okay, we study until high school and then move out the country. If you
Okay.
have any chance of making any type of money, you gotta study abroad somewhere, South Africa, Belgium, France, America, Tanzania, wherever it is. Move out the country, study somewhere else, then maybe, and most of the time they study somewhere else and they don't come back. People are like, oh yeah, we're gonna study somewhere else, we're gonna come back and then make the money here, but
Mhm.
they don't. They realize that they're in a country that is already, built and structured in its own way, and that they've become comfortable with that, and that's just where they're gonna inhabit. But they don't realize that actually coming back is a decision that can change your life forever. I mean, now you
Mhm.
have the necessities, which is brains, to start something new, But yeah, I do think there's hope. I wouldn't say that I've lost hope in the DRC. There's definitely hope, but this is just from where we were. We were only in Guinea. The DRC is a huge country. There's
Yeah,
provinces that we did not visit. We have no idea what is going on there. There's definitely war,
something to
genocide,
mention.
this, that, and the third
Yeah.
problems that are happening. But where we were
Mhm.
living the city life, and the city is solid. I would have to say that it's not 100%, but it's definitely solid, and that the more we get to learn about the other provinces and how other people in the countryside are living and stuff like that, I feel like the more we would be able to rebuild the country,
I see.
the way it needs to be built.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for your feedbacks. Now, someone is asking, Joel is asking, what's just name a few positive things that you experienced over there. We've heard about the road, about no 9 ones, we've heard about all these things. Any positive things that you experienced?
um,
Any
for one
famous person that you met?
I think it's gorgeous. I think the DRC is very gorgeous. And
Okay.
there are beautiful trees, there's water. Even the buildings they're just gorgeous. Even the way people live life to capture that,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful picture to see. And a second thing I would say is definitely the, like, as young people, the scene that we were introduced to was very freeing, and just it was just nice seeing, people our age just enjoying life. No, I mean, we had the curfew and that's literally the only thing that stopped us, but you could just see, people just enjoying life, enjoying each other's company, all that good stuff. And there's many places to do that. And it's also nice how kind of small the community is. Like, I it would kind of bother me at first, but it is kind of nice to know that people just know each other. Like, they just know each other. It's kind of like homey, and it kind of made me feel very comfortable being there because we started to get used to that very quickly. Like, it was
Okay. Okay. How about you, Serena? Did you meet any famous person? Did you go to any nice place? I mean, any
Yeah,
good memories, positive things from your trip?
Congo is absolutely pretty. Okay, it's
Mm.
absolutely pretty everywhere. Okay, the 4 or 5 cities that we've been in, beautiful. Um, Again, everyone's so free, everyone's so kind. We've been to a bunch of different rooftops and a bunch of different like hotel lounge hangout spots. We did meet the legendary Kofi.
You did.
Yes,
What about that?
that
We
was
some people only see him on TV.
that was crazy because it was just like, you know, like it was just weird. It was like, oh my gosh, she's right there, you know? And he was really nice. You know, we went up to him, we were like, oh, can we have a picture? He was like, oh, okay, let's take a picture. And you know, he asked us where we're from, and he was all like, yeah, we're like, he was like, where you guys from? And we're like, oh, we're from LA, da da da. He was like, okay, me too, I'm from Paris.
Okay.
So the whole time they're like, Omoni Kofi Akosi, Abanakana Kinshasa.
Like aboyikin, aboyikin.
Yeah, Omoni. It was funny.
Okay, that's hilarious.
He was super nice. You know, he took pictures with us. It was great. And then the next day or 2 days later, we met with our son too.
Mhm.
And he was extremely nice, like very, very, very nice. Um, you know, he knew a couple members from the Congolese community in Vegas. So, and he has family that live in Chicago, but he was really, really nice, you know, very, very, very humble. Um, we talked to Jibikilay as well.
Really?
Yes, we talked to him and he was really, really nice. Uh,
Okay.
it was great. It was honestly great. Yeah, it was a wonderful experience. Wonderful, nice people. So yeah.
Oh, I'm very. I mean, it's very funny. A lot of people are laughing at your experience with Kofi Olomide. That was very amazing. So, would you? This is not a question. I mean, that I think that would be the last question we take. Um, would you move back home and stay there for life? Oh,
Okay, I wouldn't stay there for life, okay? Because like we mentioned before, there are circumstances where it comes to health and you know hospital situations where it's just like I cannot be here. Like in the future, if I was to like you know give birth and stuff, I wouldn't give birth in Congo. Like no way, no
but
way.
most of our parents were born there.
I don't know how they did it, but no way, no way. I would
Okay.
definitely live there. Like I never thought in a million years, right? Or I could just say 20 years. I never thought I would be like, okay, like I will feel comfortable living here. Like if I really had enough, like great enough money, like I would definitely live there. You know, my parents were talking about moving back there, and I was just like, you have a house here, you have a car here. Why would you want to go back there? You know? But
Home.
seeing it, seeing home is like, oh my gosh, I could live here, you know, in increments though. In
Mhm.
increments, I could be there 6 months, come back for a month, go back. It's if you have the money, like I said, if you have the money, you could really live and sustain a wonderful life there.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. How about you, Rosie? Would you move back home for life if you have a great business and all these things going on there, or you like, no, I'm gonna miss Little Caesar.
Definitely not Little Caesars, but I would say I definitely do agree with Serena that health is a big, and you see it, that health is a huge issue, especially amongst the Congolese community because of the lack of, I'm gonna say, support that they have there, and how it's not really like an essential need to them for some reason. So I'm a person that gets sick very easily, and not having like an emergency vehicle there, or like a doctor that would be able to come on time, on call, to help me or save me, I don't think I'd be able to do it. But I think that, um again, like I wouldn't have thought, like, and when my dad was going back and forth to Congo, I was like, why? Like, what is there? Why do you keep going back? And like going, I'm like, oh, I see. Like, I like it here. I loved it. I loved it. And I would definitely live there for, little small moments, but not or life. I would do like a dual citizenship kind of thing where I'm able to, just hop back and forth whenever I need to. Because if I have a business out there, then yeah, I gotta be there for business. But I would definitely do like a more like a hopping back and forth than a like permanent stay residence type stuff.
We're starting to have a little glitches here and there. A lot. Um, anyways, I don't know why. That. But again, well, we almost at the end anyway. The young person out there still wondering, should I go back or not? Well, go learn and what you have, decided you have to back home and bless someone, bless your country with what you know and what you have. So there's also okay. Well, guess what? You encourage someone to invest. What you're saying is really going by your word. Invest at home. Just because you say it, they'll really consider to invest. Yeah, go by what you just said. Well, there's also another person who's watching you. They're like, well, never. I don't know. I don't know the need of God. They know, they're smart in all their ways and stuff. But again, well, my guests are having technical issues. But again, they'll be back. Before they come back, I just want to remind you who we are. We BWAGNYA, Olive with Olive Gospel Ministries. Today we received a few young, amazing women who were born here, raised here, but again decided to go back home on a trip. Yes, just to visit. And I hope you heard them. In case you didn't remember a thing of what they said, guess what? If you don't remember a thing of what they said, they just mentioned that there's a lot of opportunities to invest. There's a lot of opportunities in the road, in on the finances, in the businesses. There's a lot you can still do, and that you need to think about it. If you came here, no matter your age, just invest. Study, learn something, bring it back home. Don't stay with it here. Don't just stay here and just be a regular person here. America already has all these people, Europe has, teachers, nurses. Learn something that can help your country. Papa Bernard, about the funny story, I guess you missed it. Serena mentioned the time she was with Kofi Olomide, and I think that was that was funny. He said he lives in Paris, but again, some people are like, "Oh, Akimi Mboka." That's one of the time. That's one of the times they had a funny experience. They're trying to reconnect. I guess connection issues are a real thing. But again, let's see how it goes. Yes. All right. They'll be back very soon, very soon. And then, yeah, learn something. Learn something here. Learn, I don't know, there's just travel. Go back home, just travel and see what's going on, what's out there. What exactly can you do? Maybe with your eyes, you can see something that they couldn't see. They just said something based on, where they were. Elles étaient dans un coin, bon, elles n'étaient pas allées partout en Afrique, partout au Congo, non. Elles ont bien dit qu'elles étaient seulement dans un coin du Congo à Kinshasa, et même pas partout à Kinshasa, mais là où elles ont eu l'opportunité d'être, elles ont pu détecter certaines choses qui peuvent être faites beaucoup mieux que comme elles ont trouvé les choses pour le moment. Et elles se sont dit, ben, c'est quelque chose qu'on peut vraiment partager avec sur BWAGNYA, aider quelqu'un. Voilà, il y a ma soeur qui est revenue. Et elles se sont dit, ben, how are you? Chose qu'on peut
I'm
vraiment
back.
partager avec. Yes, you might want to mute your other device. Okay. All right. So, Papa Bernard was asking, any funny stories? I mentioned the Kofi Olomide one. I don't know if you have any other funny stories that you experienced over there.
Um, any funny stories? I would say probably with just having maids and stuff. That was kind of like awkward. Usually we're just like taught here to just clean after ourselves after we eat, put it away, and to just come to this country and just leave your plate there for somebody else to clean after you. That's kind of awkward.
Okay, you had a domestic, huh?
Yeah, like it was awkward because it was just like, okay, there's somebody cleaning after us. That's weird.
You're not used to that.
Yeah, we're not used to that. We also had chauffeurs and like they were funny. um, you know, it was just I don't know, like it was a kind of like odd situations that we had to kind of adapt with. Um,
Mhm.
you know, that's pretty much that.
I see. Well, it's still a blessing. It is a huge blessing to have all these amazing things. I mean, for some people, they might think, okay, chauffeur and domestic, what's so special about that? Well, in America, we expect them to clean up after themselves. You eat, you clean, you eat, you clean up. Okay, you make
Hmm.
your bed, you clean up, you do your own thing, your own chores. You don't do it, those dishes will be waiting for you.
Hmm.
To have someone to do that for them was a little treat, and I feel like
Yeah,
it's a little funny for me too.
and then we went to Maluku, right? So we
You want to what?
Maluku,
Mm,
Maluku.
and okay,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna respect you.
yeah,
Yes.
there and we were kind of entering. So the way that we were going there, there's people that we knew that worked under the president, so they had tight security as well. So we were basically it was me, Elsie, and Rosie in one car with a chauffeur, a armed like security person, and the other car was all the adults, and then it was like two cop cars in the front and two cop cars in the back. So basically, our driver, he gave me like theater vibes. Okay, so mind you, being around them just felt like you were in an actual live action theater. It was oh my gosh. So anyway, we're driving back from it's dark, the two road. So he's kind of irritated because the three drivers ahead of us slow. So he'll make comments like, "Oh, Melise, okay," and it's like he was just like assuming like they were drunk or something because the way that they were driving.
Yeah.
So he was like telling the armed guy like, not kindi, not kindi, not kindi. So he was like, "Go ahead, drive him over, drive him past him, or whatever." So he puts down the window and he was like, "Bino, basta boma yo, basta boma, mekali susu."
He
I was
talks to the other cars.
yes, the other cars. So
Okay.
we're just like, oh my gosh. Like we're in the back just laughing. And we're going back and two-way road, so it's dark and you can't see who's coming in besides like until like last 5 seconds. So he's driving equivalent to 90 miles per hour. Okay, it's 90 miles per hour. He's driving fast, he's driving crazy. So, Elsie and Rosie and I are like, okay, this dude is going too fast. Like, he needs to slow down. So Elsie's like, oh, okoki kokene malembe. And he's like, malembe? He's like, sokinake eflaye okosanza. We're like, what? Like, you go faster than this? Like, it was just crazy. It was just a very weird situation. It was like, what? And he was like, no, I go fast with this. If we go fast, you really grow up. Like, you know? So it was just a very like funny situation. Funny.
I'm sure there's a lot of funny stories, and to whoever wants to hear more stories, please get in touch. I'm sure
Yeah. It
they will
was
tell you all these funny stories. Well, thank you so much for so many of you watched us and listened to a few wisdoms of the potentials back home. I hope you were blessed with a few things. One of them, guess what? There's money back home. There's not only witchcraft, kindo keza kakuna te mtia mabeka te, poison ka te, mais potentiel pe ezali. Makambo ya bien akosala ezali kotonga mboka, oyekoli libanda zonga mboka. Tonga mboka na yo, ça va vraiment bénir. Par la grâce de Dieu, Nzamba osunga yo, tout ira bien avec la direction divine. Greetings to Papa Joel, Brother Dante Nelson. Greetings, Mama Me, Mama Rosalie. She even mentioned here her daughter went back home. She went back 2 days and then she was able to speak really good English and she loved it. Well, thank you so much. And Mama Jolie, thank you. She's proud of you, beautiful Congolese princesses. Thank you so much for being proud of them. Well, Congo is also a Christian country, but again, a lot of people born outside, or even some people out there, the realities of the country made them resist a little bit, the whole Jesus thing, the whole being Christian, and the whole receiving even Jesus as Lord and Savior. After all you saw there, what did, what happened to your faith? Do you
Um,
feel like people need God more than ever, or what can you say to help someone there
I
watching you? Yeah.
I would say, it's very interesting because actually, when we were in the city, there
Hmm.
was no church that we actually like heard. Like, it was just like city wise, right? But when we were going to like the suburbs, like Bandala and stuff, you could hear the church, like the music playing loud. Okay, like it was crazy. It was like you're in the street and you're like, what is that? Like, what is that band? And
Hmm.
there's songs that like I'm familiarized at our church, right? It was like, wow, it was very like, those that are well and up, like that type of music, because you're hearing it all the time. It's just there. Um, it's probably similar to like kind of here where it's like maybe the rich people who kind of forget a little bit, I'm guessing. Um, and again, the people are like living Indian and stuff, so it's a lot of Muslims. Where we're staying at, I
So
think
you saw Muslims too.
yeah. So at 6 a.m., basically where we're at, you just hear whatever Muslim noises they make, the little sirens, their songs, or whatever. You hear that every morning. So now that you brought that up, it was like, yeah, that's actually very interesting. It's just like from that side, like, you don't really see that much of like culture, but definitely do. That's all that you hear.
So with your experience, I guess some people might think, well, being Christian is only for poor people and not for rich people.
Hmm.
What would you say to a rich person thinking, well, I don't need that Jesus because I'm rich. I have a chauffeur, I have a driver. I don't live in Bandal or all the other cities where there's a lot of churches.
I would say it's kind of crazy because it's like materialistic things could go any second. Like you could lose at any time, right?
Yes.
You
Hmm.
and where would you go? Like
Where did you go?
where would you go or what would you do? Like what is your first instinct when you lose all those things? You lose all your businesses. I mean, I heard even just that's crazy, you know. So I think that's just false, you know.
Yes.
You need
Don't. Yes.
to be successful. Like our prayer group yesterday night, we mentioned on Proverbs 16, in order for you to be successful, and if you want to be successful, run that through Him. So
Yes. 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 Well, thank you so much. Someone is asking, what was your favorite city of Congo? Did you like which one was your favorite? Maluku, Bandal,
love,
Gombe? Oh, you like Bandal?
yes, I love
Okay.
like you just chill. You know what I mean? You just chill. You're minding your own. You're chilling. It's not no high or low status. It's just like you're just being you. You're
Okay.
being real. I'm not gonna say that Gombe wasn't amazing because it was amazing. We were doing things that we don't even do out here. You know what I mean? It was great. You see all these Range Rovers, 2019 and above. Yes,
2019.
yes. And it's like paid off. So it's like that high maintenance lifestyle was cool too. It was amazing. But Bandar it was lit. I liked it.
I was late. Okay, all right then. If she was in Congo, she would have been Mwana Bandal. I guess Sister Rose is back. Hi, can you hear us? Hello, hi.
Hi.
Yes. So if you were back home, what was your favorite? I mean, when you were back home, what was your favorite city?
It's staticky. I can't really hear what you said.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, when you were back home, what was your favorite city?
My favorite city?
Yes, was it Bandal, Maluku, Gombe? I don't know.
Dang, this is hard. They all had, because they all had something to give. Like there was always something special about each of them.
Mm-hmm.
That this is actually hard. We stayed in Gombe,
Okay.
so if I don't know, I want to say Gombe because of how much we stayed there and like how we went around. We probably knew that city the best. But then Maluku was so beautiful,
Okay, Maluku. Okay.
and Bandao just had so much like culture.
Like,
I don't know how to explain it, but like it did. And then there was also Kitamo, which I enjoyed. So,
Kitam.
um, I can't really choose. Like they all kind of have like a significance to the trip and to
Okay.
my experience, and I'm
Okay.
grateful to all of them. So I can't choose.
You can choose. All right. So, to any other young person watching us wondering, okay, I'm planning a trip this summer to go back home in Congo. If I have to pick a place, if you have to go by what Rosie said, go everywhere. Just each place has something to give you, I guess.
Everywhere, go
Go
everywhere.
everywhere. And according to Serena, go to Bandal. That should be your to go place. Then
But
she
that was
goes,
important. I think for a trip, definitely that's a have to. Like Maluku, like that was an essential, but like because we went, it's like I loved it, but it's not essential. Go to Banda.
go
I
to
would,
Bandal is essential. Okay, Bana Bandal basically.
and if you go, that it's not gonna be like I don't want people to like think that oh my gosh like we like the experience is gonna be the same. It might be
Dear
different. It's not gonna be the same. Fortunately for us, there was a lot of people that
family,
you know,
yes.
knew of us and
Mhm.
helped us and got us to different types of experiences. Okay, like it's different, but overall it's a beautiful experience. I would give it a try.
Yeah. So just connect with one of your family members back home. I'm sure they will be more than happy to be your tour people and help you out, visit the country in case you don't know where to start off. But again, think about traveling back home this summer. It will be a blessing. I know you're planning a trip. Someone watching us is planning a trip to I don't know where. If you don't know where to go, go to Congo. It's a
Yeah.
nice place to go and there's amazing things to do, way more than the time we have here would allow us to talk about and dive in more details. So we have to stop right now. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here with us, for sharing with us so much wisdom. It was so valuable. But again, we cannot go. We cannot go without giving someone a chance to receive Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. You went and came back with the assurance that God was with you. But again, there's someone who doesn't have that assurance. Sister Rosie, can you please help someone pray with you and allow me to interpret you so that they can receive Jesus as Lord and Savior? I don't know if you're ready for that, or Sister Serena can go for that. Either one of you.
Oh wait, can you repeat that? The last thing you said.
Yes, help someone receive Jesus as Lord and Savior
Uh huh.
and pray with them. I'll interpret in the opposite language. If you say in English, I'll go in French so that the person can receive Jesus Christ in their lives. If you're ready, we can go ahead.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's bow our head and close our eyes.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna translate?
Yes, I will.
Okay. I'll try to go slow.
Okay.
Heavenly Father, I would just like to thank you for this day.
Notre Père qui es aux cieux, nous voulons te remercier pour cette journée.
Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to share our experience that you've blessed us with.
Merci pour cette opportunité de partager notre expérience que tu nous as bénis avec.
I hope that us talking about this has touched somebody, Lord,
Nous croyons vraiment qu'en parlant de ceci, ça bénit quelqu'un
and has allowed them to see how your grace and your blessings have benefited us and have been shown in us.
pour qu'il voie aussi ta grâce sur nos vies.
It is because of your mercy and your love that we were able to go there and return back safely.
C'est à cause de ta grâce que nous sommes partis revenus sains et saufs.
And I wish that you extend that blessing upon anyone traveling back home or back to any country that they want to travel to.
Et je prie vraiment que tu aides quelqu'un, que tu puisses encore étendre cette grâce sur quelqu'un qui voyage.
May we always thank you, Lord, for the glory that you give us.
Et nous te remercions encore pour la gloire que tu partages avec nous.
And in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Au nom de Jésus, nous avons ainsi prié. Amen. Thank you so much, sister. Guess what? Someone was blessed. Pastor Fabrice was blessed. Papa Joel was blessed. And he loves you so much. Mom Rose, she has a request. She's requesting next time, don't forget her. No?
Oh, Grandma!
She's saying don't forget her next time that you go. Thank you so much. To whoever hasn't received Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, just receive him in your heart. Repeat after me, Jesus Christ, I receive you as Lord and Savior in my life. I've traveled, I've eaten in nice places, I went in nice places, but I still have a void that need to be filled by you. Please come into my heart, lead me, be my Lord and Savior, guide me. Holy Spirit, talk to me. From now on, I am a child of God. Welcome in the body of Christ. All right?
Mhm.
Find yourself a church. We're getting deconfined. Find a church. Google, go on YouTube on a live. I'm sure people will be more than happy to help you and guide you. Again, thank you so very much, ladies. And see you next time as we'll have more time to share wisdom. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.